I love Dame Time because he keeps
Yeah.
it
Love
real
him.
and he doesn't care. We have this conversation often, Evan. It's this constant moving goalpost on what the NBA and what the current NBA players should be doing to win championships. You have players like LeBron and Kevin Durant who have moved around multiple teams to give themselves the best opportunity to win championships because
Yeah.
that is what seems to matter the most to people in this league, right? They do that, then there's backlash. They're ring
Mhm.
chasers, and this ring doesn't count, and that ring doesn't count. On the other side of the argument, you have players like Damian Lillard, like Bradley Beal, who don't do that, who say, I'm here, I'm going to try to win here, and I'm going to go ahead and accept those supermax contracts because I'm going to be here for the long term and I'm going to make it work. And it's, oh, he doesn't want to win. He's just in it for the money. Which side are we rocking with? What you can't play both ends in the middle here. What do you
Yeah.
make of what Dame said, and what do you make of the current state of the NBA when it comes to that?
I mean, aside from this clip, I think one thing that goes missing is the individual. Like, if you're around Dame Lillard, he's ultra competitive, almost to the point where you've been in a locker room where you hear how he speaks and, thinks about, where he sees himself in 5 or 6 years. He doesn't really see a limit. So I think sometimes when it comes down to it, he doesn't feel like he needs to go anywhere because he feels like he's one piece or, a couple pieces away from winning a championship. I think, a lot of times, when guys aren't so much loaded with a team, you kind of get taken away from, what they do individually. I think Dame has led a lot of tough, teams with not the best rosters in a lot of great situations. I was on his team for 2 years. We were selected to be, 11th in conference, and we finished third every year winning the division. So I think with that type of confidence and that type of history, guys don't really get a chance to really say why they stay, or people don't really comprehend. Brad Bill has had multiple 60-point games. Those are guys that are well capable of their talent. So I think, leaving doesn't really turn them on because they might feel like they can do it there.
Liv, I mean, you know how I feel about this. I hate when people play ride the fence and what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. I mean, Liv, what do you make of what you heard Dame say? And should a lot of people look at him differently if they thought that he wasn't a player for whatever reason that wanted to win, which is ridiculous?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree with Damian Lillard here. I mean, we even look at this with the MVP conversation. You've got very valuable players with a lot of talent that, right. I mean, you've got it happens all the time. Now, okay, I'm a Denver Nuggets girl, so I shouldn't ever talk about MVP because I've been blessed for the past 2 seasons for sure as a fan. However, with the MVP conversation, we see it all the time. Where's the ring? They're not winning games. They're not, that doesn't take away from their value on their team. And so it's so interesting the way that we even compare talent. I think this league has become very flashy. It's all about the championships. I mean, if you look at even Draymond Green, most of the time when he's chirping, he's flexing the amount of rings he has on his finger, but he's talking to players that could go head to head with him just fine. Their talent is there. The ring situation really does, it does change how we view the game itself and how we view the talent and the caliber of these players. But I don't think it should. We see it with the MVP. We even see it with the All-Star game. It's a popularity contest, it feels like, where we're just looking for the flashy people that are going to get the eyeballs on the program. But really, look at guys like Aaron Gordon. He's had an exceptional year, but we're not talking about him. He's not in the All-Star game because he's Aaron Gordon, not Jokic. You know what I mean? So it's hard because I don't agree with the ring conversation being, what the main focus of the league, but it seems that we're headed that direction for sure.
Go ahead.
When I was saying, I think I heard somebody say that the ring conversation, ring culture was brought up for one person, and that was like LeBron. You know what I mean? And then it went buck crazy after that. They were trying to chase, have LeBron chase MJ and all this, and eventually everybody's been screaming ring, ring, ring.
I mean, obviously, KD, he went to Phoenix, and that, for all intents and purposes, you could, I guess, call that a super team. You do have a Hall of Famer, Chris Paul. Kevin Durant's a Hall of Famer. Devin Booker is a superstar right now. He's only getting better. But if you look around the league, I think that era of these ultra-talented players, these Hall of Fame guys, joining teams, joining forces to go ahead and win championships is slowly dwindling down. You look at a team like the Memphis Grizzlies, that's a team that was orchestrated from the ground up. Same thing in Boston. That's a team that was orchestrated from the ground up, and they've really been able to reap the benefits of the seeds they planted seasons ago. So do you think the super team era is dying?
No, I would think so. I think the guys are really, plugged in it and from that culture are just getting older. And that's like no diss or anything, but unfortunately we only have a couple more years of that era, and those guys are a part of it. So I think the young guys, they kind of along with the organizations, you look at Memphis, or even look at the Celtics, their culture has been built years in advance and kind of comprehending where they want to go with it. The same thing with Atlanta Hawks when they drafted all those young guys as well. You see teams have take advantage of having those down years, but also playing into trying to build the best possible franchise they can.
All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Liv, you brought it up, the MVP conversation, so I'm going to you first. The Denver Nuggets are still sitting at number 1 spot in the Western Conference. Jokic has been the front runner for the MVP, but they have also lost 4 games in a row, while the Bucks and the 76ers have been moving and grooving. And on those teams, you have Giannis, you have Embiid, who are also in the running for MVP, and people are making the argument that one of those two should be the ones to win it. Liv, does the recent losses of the Denver Nuggets hurt Jokic's MVP chances, especially with what Embiid and Giannis are doing over in the Eastern Conference?
I don't think it should, but I think it does. Absolutely. I will tell you, as much as I love my Denver Nuggets and Jokic, my preseason pick for MVP was Giannis. I love Giannis. I love what Giannis is doing. But now, hey, let's not forget that this Bucks team was on a 14-game win streak without Giannis. So yes, he is valuable to this team and to this game. However, they're still winning without him. And it's the same thing we see even with the Grizzlies. Hey, Ja Morant, he may be the most valuable when he's out there, but you remove him from the equation, they're still doing okay. So the MVP conversation is a really dicey one, because you've got Jokic, who to me is exceptional, and he's doing things and he does it with such ease. It just looks so easy, which I think actually makes people mad. I think they watch him play and they're like, that should not be an MVP. I mean, if you saw this guy walking down the street,
he's not
correct.
He's not like an Adonis. Absolutely. It's like, why does he hoop like this? He's not.
And I think it frustrates people, because you see this guy walking down the street. I mean, when he first joined the Nuggets, he was drinking like a liter of Pepsi a day, and they were like, dude, this is not how we do things around here. But this is a guy that is just so easy for him. And I think that frustrates a lot of people, which whatever. Yeah. Do I think Jokic is the MVP right now? I do. But Giannis was my initial pick. I could see it going that way. But again, you removed him 14 games they won in a row without him. So when you're looking at the word valuable, it's like they've got a lot of talent on that team. So the valuable conversation, it's tough. It's a very tough one.
We've spoken a lot about this MVP conversation. A lot of theories have been thrown out from various, publications and outlets regarding the MVP, especially this year. But I think at the root of it, I think we can all agree on one thing. The criteria is extremely flawed. Like, nobody knows what the criteria is. It changes from season to season. One year championships matter, the next they don't. One year you have to be in a winning the top 5. Next year Steph Curry's in the conversation as a number 9 seed in the war. I mean, what needs to happen for the MVP award to be the most fair and the most, I guess, just the most fair, so we don't have these conversations anymore?
I think one thing that always used to bother me a bit, and it's no slight to anybody, but you look at a Jokic, he has all these crazy triple doubles and he has like unbelievable numbers. But then when you factor in the defensive side of it, he's not the best defensively. And sometimes you look at it and it's like, is this a game of basketball, or is this a game of offense, or what people like to watch? Because I believe the game of basketball is supposed to have, be effective from all levels. And that's why, I don't get so mad when Giannis wins MVP, because he does it on both ends of the floor. And he's not being picked on in somebody's locker room. I've been in a locker room and we've been told to put Jokic in the pick and roll. every time. If you go back and look at Dame Lillard, he's had like 2 or 3 60-point games versus Denver and 50 and da. So I kind of want that to be adjusted. I really want winning to go into factor, because what Jason Tatum is doing right now, I believe, is still at a top level. And to a certain extent, if he was on a team by himself, he could be averaging 50. He has Jaylen Brown with him, a lot of great team, but he's doing it both sides of the floor. And also, too, I just think we can't do that stuff where like Kobe and Shaq only get 1 MVP, and then there's a couple dudes that got 2 or 3 at the same time. Like, give Embiid an MVP, like what he deserved, because he's just too good and he's too dominant. He's just too dominant. Like,
before we let you go, who's your pick then? Right now, if you had to cast your vote for MVP, who are you giving it to?
I'm going Tatum.
I'm
going
I
Tatum.
said that a couple weeks ago. I said he was a sleeper pick, and I told people he's a sleeper. Don't sleep on Tatum for MVP, and people thought I was crazy. I love it.
And then when you isolate and break down what he's really doing at that age, and like just how easy it is, and like you look at his mentality, he's really sitting down and guarding the other team's best player, and then he's really giving out 40 like this, like every single week. And then you think about the age, it's a joke. And he's probably fly stressing too, so I'm into it. I like my superstars to look like superstars.
Jason Tatum, if Evan Turner had a vote, it's going to you. So Evan, thank you.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know the Boston fans will be happy to hear that one. We will be right back, guys. We have one more guest. We're going to circle back on Aaron Rodgers and some other things in the mix. Don't move.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.